Demai Perek Zayin Mishnah Dalet. A very interesting Mishnah. What do you do if you bought Tevel? You have Tevel. It's Bein Hashmashot on Shabbat, and you have nothing to eat. You want to use what you have. Okay. In order to understand, so this is the case of Halokeach Yayin Mi Bein HaKutim. Kutim are Geri Arayot, and this is actually in the Mishnah's time, according to the opinion that says that the Kutim were Jews. Nowadays, so this whole Mishnah is like a different time and a different like psak world. But at the time of the Mishnah, the Kutim were considered Gerim, and their produce was considered Chayav and Trumot Mida Oraita. But the Kutim themselves didn't take off, because remember the Kutim learned Lifnei Iver Lo Titein Michshol, literally. Don't put up something back before a blind man, but I could sell you a Terumah. What's the problem? Because that's your problem, not my problem. They didn't learn it figuratively. They took the psukim much more literally. Okay, so now you're stuck with this problem. Let's just look for a second, the Bartanura. Okay, it's Kodim Shagazu al Yainam. Remember, you're buying wine from Kutim. They're not Goyim yet, so they're Jews. And the Yainam is Vadai Tevel. And their Yain is Tevel. And now it's talking, Ari Belokech Erev Shabbat Bein Hashmashot. You're now Erev Shabbat before Bein Hashmashot, and you're dealing with Tevel. In order, we have to look at a Mishnah in Shabbat, which you might be familiar with. The Mishnah says in Shabbat, anyone who says Bameh Madlikim, this is from the parak of Bameh Madlikim. Okay, Istartem, Irabtem, Hiduketaner. Did you take off your Maaser? Remember, so nowadays we ask ourselves, did I turn on the Shabbos clocks? Did I put up the hot water? They had to ask themselves, is the produce, did they take off Trumot and Maaserot? Did I make an Eruv? Did I light candles? Why? Safek chashecha, safek ena chashecha. If it's bein hashmashot, i.e., after 18 minutes after candle lighting, remember we consider that Shabbat. It's really bein hashmashot. Ein ma'asrin et havadai. This is the halacha that's relevant to us. That you're not allowed to take off maaser from the vadai, from tevel. Okay, but baval, the Mishnah, I'm just going to skip a bit. Ma'asrin et demai. This is exactly our Mishnah. When we have demai, you can take off maaser. Remember, because maaser of demai is only d'Rabbanan. But ma'asinata vadai, it's ki'ilu mitaken, you're making something mitaken, chacham gzeira, on isur and maaser of demai. So then we're in this case, we're exactly this case. We're bein hashmashot. You bought from the kutim. It's yayin. I want to make kiddush on my wine. So is there anything I can do? Says the Mishnah, you can make a declaration. You're not allowed to do actual hafrasha, but you can make a declaration of what you're going to be mafrish. And that will have an effect and allow you to use the wine on Shabbat. Now, of course, we're going to discover this is only according to one opinion, and we don't pass it in this way. We'll see that at the very end. Says the Mishnah, Lokeach yain mi bein hakutim. Omer, you buy wine from the kutim, you're allowed to say, Shnei lugin shani atid lahafrish harehen truma. So we're assuming you bought 100 lug. A lug is, I have no idea. Let's assume it's a liter, because I live in Israel and we're leaders. If you live outside quarts, if you're a Brit, 2 quarts, okay? Out of 100 quarts, 2 lugin log shani atid lahafrish min truma. Now I'm curious. I'm going to look at how much is a log. So here we go. I found a log. A log, according to, is 296.3088 samak, which is cubic centimeters. How much is that? Okay, not cubic millimeters. That's incorrect. Cubic centimeters is 300 cubic centimeters is 10.14 fluid ounces. So 10.1. That's how much a log is. Back to our Mishnah. We're sidetracked. Okay, so. You have 100 lugin. Let's just make this bigger. Okay, you have 100 lug. 100 lug. Okay. Shnei lugin sh'ani atid lahafrish harehem truma. So 2 lug out of 100 that I'm going to designate, they are truma. Sh'ani atid lahafrish. Remember, I'm not allowed to be mafrish now, but that which I will be mafrish, I will designate after Shabbat. Asara maaser. 10 of them are maaser. V'tisha maaser sheni, and the Bartanura says it's not exactly 10. He says because after I took off from my 100 2 lug, I'm left with 98. So therefore, it's asara lugin pachot chomesh. It's 9.8 lugin. So therefore, but the Mishnah is approximate. V'asara maaser, 10 are maaser. V'tisha maaser sheni. So let's just look at our measurements if I have 100, okay. If I have, so I say I have 100 lug. Okay, if I have 100 lug, so what I do is I say, listen, of those 100 lug, okay, 2 of them I'm going to make into, 2 of them that I'm going to, I don't actually designate, but 2 that I'm going to are going to be truma, and then another 10 of those, however many, another 10 of those I'm going to make into maaser, and then the rest I'm going to make into Maaser Sheni. I don't do it. I'm not allowed to do it, but that which I'm going to do in the future, I'm going to do. And then he says, Mechel Vishoteh. Another 9, he says, are Maaser Sheni. Let's do 9, and then not 10, but 9 are Maaser Sheni. There we go. 9 are Maaser Sheni. Yeah. Okay? So 2, 10, and 9. I didn't do it, but I'm going to do it. I designate that I'm going to do it. And then he says, Mechel Vishoteh. Mechel, it seems like you're allowed to do chalot. You're allowed to be Mechel. You have the chalot. Okay? So a lot of the Mefarshim have problems with that. It implies that you're allowed to do it. So it says, look at the Bartuna for a second. Ani atid lafrish, hachalo ketani shani atid lafrish lemachar. You can't say lemachar, I'm going to do it. Why? Because davka she'eno mitaken ela mi she'ochel v'shoteh. You're only allowed to be mitaken that which, or future be mitaken from the Mishnah we learned in the cup before, and the last Mishnah, what I'm going to eat right now. Hitiu lafrish lemachar mimotar achilato, from the extra that you're going to eat. You can't take the whole jug or the whole flask. That they didn't allow to do. So therefore, it's ani atid lafrish, but you don't say lemachar exactly when I'm going to do it. So therefore, the Bartuna has a problem with mechel v'shoteh, because mechel implies mechel chalot. You have the chalot of the Terumah. You're actually doing the hafrasha, and you're not doing the hafrasha. So he says, he reinterprets it, matchil v'shoteh. You're allowed to go and you start drinking. Meaning you didn't take off anything specifically, but you declared that you're going to designate. Perush acher, or mozgo v'shoteh. Mechel is you mozgo. Mechel kemo mihel. Kemo sav'ech mahul b'mayim. Mahul is poured into or diluted in water. Your wine is diluted in water. This whole Mishnah is problematic, because the Mishnah, even though we just learned in Shabbat, we had this Mishnah in Shabbat that said, Safek Hashecha, Sefach Safek Ein Hashecha, and the Mishnah in Shabbat that we just learned, I lost my place, here we are, it says, Ein Ma'asvinet Avadai. And here we're back in our Mishnah, it seems to say, Ma'asvinet Avadai, you're allowed to, you seem to be allowed to, you're stuck, you're allowed to do Maaser. So how do we deal with this? Says the Bartanura, this is the kicker of the whole Mishnah, okay? Says the Bartanura, Ustam matnitin ati ki Rabbi Meir. This is all Rabbi Meir. The Amar af b'deoraita yesh breira. Says there's a din of breira. Remember we learned about breira. So he said the breira says that I can designate in the future that which is going to happen, and retroactively it will have happened now. So here I've got my coffee cup, okay, and I can say before I drank the coffee, he said that which I'm going to designate that which on the bottom I'm going to leave for Terumah, and everything else is not going to be Terumah. Oh, it's all mixed together. No, because Breira says that in the end, that which is left, it turns out that was the Terumah that I designated before. It's a legal construct that's difficult to wrap your head around, but it's critical. So Rabbi Meir says, B'deoraita yesh Breira. There's Breira deoraita. B'zeh shenish'ar b'shaliako sa'ilu hufrash, that which was designated midchila. Here's the kicker. Ve'ena halacha. We don't pass on that way. Elakaimalan, we learn dirabanan yesh breira. Yes, in a din dirabanan like Demai yesh breira. Aval b'deoraita like Tevel ein breira. Hilkach bevadai Tevel lo yochav lo yishte ad shiafish. It doesn't work if you're stuck with your wine. Bein Hashmashot, you cannot do hafrasha. Okay, well let's look for a second at the Tosefta, because the Kahati quotes the Tosefta on this Breita, on this Breita, where he says the following. The Breita says, and now we know why it's talking about Me'erev Shabbat, Shachach v'lo hifrish. So then the Breita quotes this whole language of Rabbi Meir. Okay? Shani atid afrish, the rehen Terumah. So he says, 2 lugar Terumah, ba'asara, ba'in achrein Maaser, etc., etc. V'shoteh meyad, mechel v'shoteh. This is from our Mishnah. Divrei Rabbi Meir. This is the position of Rabbi Meir. Rabbi Yehuda and Rabbi Shimon osrim. Rabbi Yehuda and Rabbi Shimon say, no, you can't do that. It's asur. So the real question is, why did they say it's asur? Some say they say it's asur because of what the Bartanura says, because we hold that breira is only in the Durabanan yesh breira, but miduraita we say ein breira. But let's look at the rest. Rabbi Shimon and Rabbi Shimon osrim. Some say they don't argue with him about breira. They argue with him about the following problem. Amru lo Rabbi Meir. Iyata modeh she'imi v'kaha nod sheshata zeh tevel. He says, well, they say, look, wait a second. Okay, so I've got the cup, and the cup is full of wine. And I say, okay, I'm going to drink it now, and when I'm done with my cup, then what's left at the bottom will be Tevel. Will be Terumah. So what happens if the cup spills out? And there's nothing left at the bottom? So if the cup spills out, then what happens is you are retroactive. You are counting on the fact that after you're done drinking, what's left is going to be truma. If nothing's left, then what happened? You ended up drinking tevel. You violated the d'oraita. So how can you do that? Amar lahem. So Rabbi Meir said to them, yeah, what happens if it does? If it breaks, you're right, you got a problem. But I'm not going to say halakhically ein breira, or I'm not going to say you're not allowed to do it because you're worried about what's going to happen. So therefore, Rabbi Meir allows it. So the Bartanura, back to our Mishnah, the Bartanura says the machloket is yesh breira, ein breira. From the language of the Braita, it seems the machloket is about, do I have to be concerned if I rely on breira, that something's going to happen that's going to cancel out the possibility of breira, and therefore the person is going to end up eating something that's asur. Okay, we've gone on too long. I hope this wasn't too complicated for you. I want to dedicate the learning to the memory of my father, Harav Simcha ben Yitzchak Kalman. And as always, comments or questions are spolter@gmail.com. Have a great day.